Just had to go grab my cat, so still getting my shit together. I got him now. Edmund, aka Commodore Purry. Merch coming soon. What's up? So Bear, you said heading to Cyclocross Nationals this weekend here in Louisville. That's awesome. Yeah. Let's get this camera angle a little better. Don't need all that. Yeah, cool. Nate the Great, what's up? Woo's Cycles, Rock's in here. Rock, I was just thinking of you because we were chatting about, well, with your last video, riding in the rain. Today, I had totally planned to ride, and it was only a 7% chance of rain. And then when I went to go out, it was just started pouring, and I didn't ride. So, but I did work on the basement all day long, getting this cleaned up and getting all my bike parts organized. So it was an accomplished day. So, but I did not ride. Hey, what's up, Metroid? Whoops. Oh, you said you've been sick, so you're home all day. Gotcha. At first, I read that the first time. It's like, sick.
Sick.
Share J in PA. Cycling Brian's in here. What's up, Cycling Brian? Pudgy. Talk about, speaking of, planning on riding today. I was going to make a video with some of the stuff Pudgy sent me, but that didn't happen. So that'll be coming soon. But Pudgy, I bought a Swift frame bag off him, but he also sent me a couple bottles. And then since so many of you guys keep giving me shit about how Poggies and bar mitts are the best, I put some bar mitts on that bike too to try them out again because it's been a couple years. So I'm like, you know what? Instead of saying I don't think they're that much better than the gloves I have, I should try them again. So that'll be coming. Um, we got some. What, the cold blast hits us on Thursday? Well, tomorrow night, I think.
Yeah, it's starting to drop tomorrow.
Yeah. The high here is 23 degrees on Thursday, but it's what, almost 40 something today? 40s and rain. So 23 is a cold high for early December. Traveling Through's in here. How's it going, Traveling Through? Places Lost, what's up? Oh, Pudgy just said it there. Still waiting on the Gunner Glamour shots with the new doodads. Yeah, so coming soon. Get that done. Make a good thumbnail. Large Marge. I don't think I mentioned. Did I mention that the bottles Pudgy sent me are from Cyclotherapy, the bike shop that he works at Springfield that we've been to a couple times ourselves? Guys are talking about PA. Michael Robinson, what's up? Last couple days, rain but warm. Yeah, I know. One of the things I really thought I was going to ride like 30 some miles today, film a video with the stuff we were just talking about, but it was also when I woke up. I mean, I think this is the grayest day I've ever seen in my life. Like the
This
fog
one was,
hung
yeah.
out. Like it was just like a miserable day out. And again, I do think Rock is right about like going out and riding no matter what, like and getting used to all conditions. But also there are some times when you accomplish stuff, and by staying in, and I definitely did. This needed an overhaul because the live streams, how I grab stuff and throw it back, and then just the accumulation of cool stuff people have sent me. See the party size thing here, the higher ground numbers, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it just needed. Everything was a mess, and also when I try and work on stuff, this is actually a functional workspace. Stuff was everywhere, so it'll still need another once over. But I'm glad I stuck inside and did one of those winter things that you need to do because in the summer I'm just gonna ride my bike. So, what's up, Raymond? What's up, Dennis Mitchell? Whoops, there we go. Billy Blaze, balancing bike life. Yeah. Samuel Mushroom, what's up? Let's make a bike movie. Robert from Detroit in the house. Definitely want to get up to Detroit again. I've really enjoyed riding there when I've ridden my bike there. We also have a couple friends up there, and our one friend Peter, who's the DJ. We want to get up there and ride one day, and then see one of his sets. Oh yeah, I am working on some new designs. Well, some are not new designs, some are just new colorways. But finally getting merch back in the shop. It's so easy just to keep stickers in the shop because stickers are, you order 100, 200 at a time. They're small, shipping's cheap. Everything else takes a little more work, but yeah. So one thing is we're just bringing back the industrial gravel shirts, the blue with the white. I decided just stick it with the colorway because I really like it. But the bandanas, the grab bandanas will be reversed, and they're going to be different. They're going to be actually by Canopy Press. I'm wearing one of their bandanas now. Woody from Roach Clips and Party Size Cycling use them. They're very soft and yeah, comfortable. So it'll be a little different than the last one, and then yeah, different colorway on that. So yeah, then me and Dave are working on some other designs. So. Sean said building up your commuter state 4130 tonight. Nice. First steel disc bike. Yeah. My Raleigh was my first one, so I only have 2 bikes with disc brakes still to this day. Oh, Daniel said, hurt your back, been laying around eating for 2 weeks, not good. I am someone who completely knows what that is like, so. Oh, yeah. Budgie. What's up, CB? What's up, William LeBron? Chatting with you earlier about some Vans winter shoes. I feel like the consensus though on where you going, bud? Ah, lost my cat. Uh, a lot of people are saying on really cold weather riding that hiking boots are just kind of the way to go. So I'm looking at that. Some of the Vans, and I have a pair of Vans here that are winter ones, and they're real warm. But I need Otis gave them to me, and they're way too big for me, so I want to get them in the hands of someone who would wear them. Did our stream cut out? Like the chat just kind of died off there.
No.
Hey, what's up, Tanya? I got your thank you letter today. Sent the thanks for the model giveaway. Oh yeah, now we're back. It did look like it slowed way down there for a minute. But now we're back in the green. All right. Yeah, if it looked bad, hopefully we'll be back. But yeah, I appreciated that. So, what's up, Justin? Nick Baum? Miami recommendations for winter. Yeah, who? Oh, Phil Gaiman was just down in Miami. He was going for a KOM, and it was just a bridge over one of the bays because there's no hills in Miami. He didn't come anywhere close to it, but so yeah. Yeah, I've never ridden down there, so I have no idea. But there's also a channel that I follow that rides in that area. Come on, Following Thomas. So if you look him up, he might have some videos. Yeah, William and Ron, we have like the worst luck of running into each other. Came out to a ride in our area that I was busy that weekend. I was up in Detroit, and William was out of town the last time I was up there. Well, not the last time. The last time I was up there, I had no time to ride. But the time I went up there to ride, he was out of town. So, hey, what's up, David? Just looking at that CAD 1 you had for sale in the Discord, which looked kind of cool. Oh yeah, Edmund getting snowed on in the last video. So let me tell you something. So it was snowing like crazy that night, and I put Edmund's harness on and his leash on, and I'm like, he's gonna think this is fun, right? I opened the door, he stepped out, and then he didn't go anywhere, so I walked out into the snow. He put one paw into the snow, and then he didn't even turn around. He backed up back into my room, like straight backwards. I was trying to catch it with the camera I'm filming with now, and I missed it, and I wish I caught it. But so then I was like, okay, he doesn't want to go out there. That's fine. I was going to take his stuff off. Then I'm like, nah, we're going out there. And then I took him and just put him in the snow, and that's when I caught that footage. So, yeah, that was. I wish I would have caught the footage of him going backwards because it was hilarious. Because you guys know cats don't walk backwards very often. They are really turned off by something. So. Slow down because Edmund left, yeah. Oh, Metroid, you said you have those cold weather snow Vans commuters with a pair of wool socks, and they're pretty impressed. Yeah, my whole thing is I feel comfortable even in my 510s, which are now pretty beat up, to about freezing. And then, like, below freezing is when I'm like, that's when I really need something so I could stay out longer. So let me know with like how, because if you're commuting, you're probably under an hour, right? That's where my issues come in, like into the 20s when I want to be out for a little bit, more than 10 miles. Justin said fat bike season. I know for definitely a number of, like, depending on where you live, it's definitely fat bike season. Otis tried on the day that I had that snow footage. Otis, who owns Dirty River, went out to Punderson in Ohio, which is more towards the snow belt, and they actually have groomed fat bike trails, one of the rare places in Ohio to have that. But he got out there, they hadn't groomed them yet, so they actually just rode a few country roads. So, but folks in coastal South Carolina, all the KOMs are bridges as well. Yeah. Let's see. Got a text, making sure it's not someone texting me that the stream's not working. David, you said you wear your hunting boots. Someone actually recommended Dave Wolverines.
Yeah.
We wore Wolverines at the farm all the time, but we wore them in the summer, so
those were not winter boots.
Those are definitely they were Gore-Tex, and they would keep you dry
Right.
until you beat them up too much. But yeah, definitely not there's a lot of room in them, so you could definitely layer in those.
That's a hell of a lot of shoe to be riding a bike, though.
Yeah, but again, it's riding a bike when riding a bike sucks. So nothing is optimal. Riding in the winter just there's times where you're trying just to do it. Favorite rim brake rims? Oh, I don't know. All my stuff is so vintage. Do I have any new? Have I ever bought a new set of rim brake rims? I'm not sure I have. It would have been on a complete. It's a good question, but I don't have an answer to that because I've only bought new wheels for my 2 disc brake bikes, to be honest. That bike was way too small for me, David. Oh, Global Fat Bike Day. They did a ride down at Dirty River, and there was still snow on the ground, so it looked like they had a good time. I said, I don't have a fat bike, and the reason is that our weather is so inconsistent. I just feel like mine would sit way too much. So I've just gone with the studded tire route on the vintage mountain bike, which gets me... I know there are times when a fat bike would be better. There are not enough times in Akron, Ohio for me to justify it, though. So... Oh, you're trying to find some vans, but 14. Is 14 beyond, like, the sizes? Like, you have to find, like, specialty because those are pretty big? So. CB, you out of here? Or were you responding to something? If you're out of here, good night. See, about 7 miles with the van's on, yeah. Yeah, Pudgy said Velocity cliffhangers. Doesn't Crust also have some pretty cool... rim brake wheels? Are all theirs disc? I know they make the ones with the, what do you call the little power generation hub thing that turns your light on? What is the word for that? Dynamo. You were failing too.
Yeah, because you said the dumbest thing I could.
CL said rode the with Locachi with Laco in Florida last week. Cool trail. Nice. Yeah, I don't have Florida. Like, I have cousins in Florida and been to Florida a bunch in Central Florida, but the only time I've ridden a bike in Florida was when I was in the capital. I had a photo shoot down there, video shoot actually, with a crazy right-wing motherfucker. And I don't mean that just because anyone who's right-wing is crazy. This dude was like off the charts, like crazy books. And like when we went to do the video, like it was like a gated thing. It was for it was for a right-wing media company that went out of business that was big in the news a couple years ago. Anyways, I can't remember. I didn't know that's what I didn't know I was going into the lion's den. Mm-hmm. But my buddy Josh doesn't like to fly, so he sent me down. He was like, hey, I'll fly you down to do this gig for 2 days. And I was like, cool, but don't like book the return flight 2 days later. So I, out of Tallahassee, rode down to the coast and stuff like that. So that's my only Florida riding experience, even though I've hiked and been to a ton of the beaches in Florida. But yeah, that was a weird experience. The dude did give me an autographed book. I have it. It's called Caught Red-Handed. Some of it was true. Like, he was like, I think there's the whole, they talk about that theory where, like, on both extremes, I can't remember what you call it, but like they end up coming back around. I felt like COVID was a good example with that, like anti-vaxxers on the left who have been around forever. And then when the right became anti-vaxxers, it's like all of a sudden these people like have the same opinions, you know? Yeah, and like Otis always said about fat bikes, they're kind of like old men mountain bikes too. Like they're just fun and like give you confidence to ride a lot of mountain biking stuff. So on Saturday you could have ridden Putterston. Yeah, but then by Sunday it was 50, so yeah. Columbia hiking boots, yeah. Yeah, Rock, I've noticed your duck boots for sure. One thing I do worry about too is the pedals I ride with pins is how quick will I destroy the bottom of shoes or boots that are not made for them. It's like 510s are made with like the kind of rubber to go on there, so chrome are like that too. I wear out my normal Vans too fast. That's why I started buying the BMX Vans because they have more rubber than just the waffle pattern. So 45 North does do flat pedal stuff, and they have very, very warm ones, but very, very expensive as well. But I think anything, once you're trying to keep yourself warm, once really cold, is going to be expensive. Again, I'm willing to spend the money on stuff that's going to make it so I could ride my bike. But what's up, John? Oh, Metro, you do 60-mile commute round trip. Oh, that's impressive. Yeah. Ah, it's good to hear that people like Velocity's rim brake wheels because I run Velocity on both my disc brake bikes, but yeah, just never had a set of their rim brakes. I think Large, who was in here, I saw he said hi. I think on his fixies he was running some Velocities back in when he was still riding fixed gear. I don't even mind winter riding. I hate that it's dark at 4:30. That's huge. Like yeah, for sure. I feel the same. I I talked in my winter riding video about lights, how important they are, and that's why I really like my Kali helmet that actually Large got me with all the lights around it, because especially here in Akron, cars just aren't looking for you. They just don't expect people to be out on a bike this time of year, and yeah, with it being dark at 4:30, yeah. Well, we peak in a couple weeks, what 21st, and then more daylight after that. So Nick said, been thinking about getting a older rim brake cyclocross bike to replace your expensive Canyon gravel bike. They're pretty cheap online. Just tire clearance will be your issue. Depending on how old the bike is and what the spacing is, you know, it just depends on how wide you want your tires to be, because vintage cyclocross bikes, depending on what era steel they're from, could be pretty tight. So, you know, I'm not sure which Canyon you had and how much clearance you had on that, but I mean, I would like a steel vintage cyclocross bike over a Canyon, but you know, that's definitely my style. So that's why so many people mess with the vintage mountain bikes, because the clearance is there, but the geometry is not as good. You have to do a lot of things to tweak them. Cyclocross bike, I think, would, if you got like the right clearance, if you get like 42s or something, and that would be great. So, and they're steel. You can usually there's room in the fork, and if you could even cold, you know, reset the back. Oh, Jay Dandy just got some new velocities too. Jay Dandy, I also saw your message. So if you guys saw my video about my mountain bike, or my snow mountain bike, 2001 Trek, something was slipping, and I think I finally realized it's the middle chain ring. It's a triple up front. That must just be really worn. And Jay Dandy hit me up about that. He's going to be at the bike co-op up in Cleveland. Said he could look for something, but I have tons of vintage mountain bike stuff here. So I saw that right before we started, Jay Dandy. So I think a lot of the stuff I have here is 7-speed, but you said in your message you think 7 and 8 in the front rings is interchangeable. If that's true, then I wouldn't need anything, because I definitely have something in the collection here. If it's not, I'm not sure I have anything 8-speed, but I have not uh, looked through that yet. Wayne said winter boots are great for when you step outside of the groomed surface and sink into the deep powder along the side of the trail. Yeah, and also just for keeping, you know, your ankles and everything warm higher up. So bouncing bikes that you could Merrill's are what my girlfriend Erin has been riding in, some hiking boots for when it's really cold, like when we went out on Saturday. So I don't think Erin needs another vintage mountain bike. She rides hers in the snow, but like that geometry to her, I was like, when we went out, I'm like, she's like, something feels weird. I'm like, oh, you feel like you're up over the front tire, because you are, because that's how these things are. They're so weird. But oh wow, Pudgy's just correcting me on Dynamo. I'm that far behind already. Bicycletta said 90s hybrids are a great base for gravel setups. Yeah. Um, Jay Dandy rides that too. I've said this before on the stream, and it's just it's and it's not, in my opinion, it's a word of caution. Some bike mechanics I know, like Yonda, who's one of the bike mechanics at Dirty River, says the only thing to be cautious of is some hybrids are not rated for the rough stuff. So I know people have never had an issue with them, but he does say like you get a typical hybrid and then you use it as a gravel bike and you ride rough stuff. It can be sketchy, depending. But I mean, I ride bars that are not mountain rated on the bikes I ride as mountain bikes as well. So yeah, dynamos feel weird the way they have that jiggly feel. I've only ridden one bike with a dynamo, and I didn't notice that. I did feel like I could feel the drag on the one I was riding though. It was a midnight special this time last year. So hey, what's up, Donald? What do you call them? Someone commented that they wear shorts down to 50 on that last video. That's a little 50. I'm not wearing shorts. I don't know you. I don't even call them though, unless you're setting up a joke there. All right, Jay Dandy. Yeah, see, that's why a lot of people are saying the hiking boot route. I've seen those like I said, 45 North does make some, but those look so like overbuilt for what I'm looking for. But I haven't looked at all the options though. So hey, what's up, Ben? Clunk is that with the accent? Would that be clunky? Clunky. I've been riding with waterproof Vessi shoes in Montreal winters with success. Lem's Boulder boot with waterproof socks. Yeah, we talked about waterproof socks. The ones I got, anyways, were a little too swampy, but I'm sure there's other ones. But Nate Great asked whatever happened to the 10 Ways e-bike that I tried out earlier this year. I let my dad borrow it, and he loved it so much that he rode it the rest of the summer and fall. My goal was to one of these weeks, if we got a warm up and our schedules lined up, to do a ride with him and make another video about it, and because it would be perfect situation because he's someone who is completely in shape and can completely um, handle all kinds of stuff, and but he loves it because he goes and he rides way farther than he would, and then he goes in other places he wouldn't have because when he hits the hills, he has not a bad heart, but he's had some valves replaced, and he's not supposed to go over a certain heart rate. So kicking on the power just when he gets to certain hills is what he does, which is what I was saying in my review. What was so great about the bike. So yeah, still hope to do that. We'll see how the winter weather goes and our schedules go. But yeah, he has it, and he's been loving it, and so perfect video to make. But that's where it's been, which is fine because once summer hit, I'm able-bodied. I don't need an e-bike. Like I said, at some point I'll want one, but oh, so Nick, you're not riding as much rough stuff as you thought. So yeah, I think vintage cyclocross bike would be perfect. Yeah. Travis Hughes said hasn't had the jiggle feel with the dynamo. Yeah, I wonder what dynamo you're using if there's something wrong with it. Hey, what's up, Robert? Up here in the live stream. Detroit, Greg says, has Columbia Bugaboost boots that have lasted 5 winters with studded pedals. Oh, cool. That's good to know for sure. And Pudgy said 7 and 8 play together fine up front. That's good to know. So, yeah, Jay Dandy, I have a ton of 7-speed rings here, so I appreciate it, but I don't think I'll have a problem finding something that fits. What's up, Green Tube? So Bear, do you have spin wheels in your profile pic? They look like you got some tri-spoke going on there. Anyone going to Cyclocross Nationals is asking. Yeah, I really love Louisville. Been down a number of times, but I will not be heading down. Have to work. This is a super busy week for me because it's the end of the year, so there's Christmas parties for the university. There's every different department has their own graduation things, and then yeah, a lot of Christmas, a lot of graduation stuff this week, and then I feel like after Monday, things will probably be chill for me until after the new year. So it'll be easy to do videos and stuff. But yeah, this week's gonna be a busy one. Subbear said, currently building an old Trek multi-Trek 730 for gravel. Nice. I believe the 730 is the bike I had that got stolen. Yeah, Pudgy's a shorts guy year round, so. Mushroom said you want a beefy, rigid mountain bike with drop bars and a drop post. Super stiff and tight with tubeless. Dream summer bike in mind. Yeah, yeah, a hybrid if you said your 250 wouldn't be the way to go, for sure. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what are some of the good like off the ones that come with drop bars. Bikepacking.com has some like really I think they have a dedicated video on that which would be worth looking up if you're trying to go new and not convert something to drop bars. Mushroom. Uh, Check out bikepacking.com's YouTube channel because at some point in the last year they did a review of like drop bar mountain bikes. So. Yeah, and I would agree, Jay Dandy. My hybrid Trek, I didn't even know. To me, it was a mountain bike when I had it, and we rode it mostly on like hiking trails and down steps and all that dumb stuff, and never had an issue with it. Granted, when I owned that thing in the '90s, I probably weighed 60 pounds. But yeah, I hear Merrill a lot, so. Always had issues with headsets and rear hubs. Yeah, like like vintage style headsets or modern style headsets. 'Cause- hey, what's up, Chuckles? You're welcome. Yeah, man, a lot of orders lately. I don't know if people are buying just spending money for Christmas or just that the videos have been doing well, so more people are seeing them. But yeah, I've been shipping out a lot of stickers lately. Excuse me. Samuel, key for you in the PNW is polypropylene liner socks, wool socks, and any good water resistant, waterproof shoe that isn't tight. Yeah, definitely. We were talking about this last week. You've got to have space, or nothing is going to be insulating anything. So, oh, those are spin wheels. Nice. I thought so. If you don't know, Pudgy gave me a set of 26 inchers, and I have them on a 96 Team Marin. Yeah, it's super. They're just coolest looking wheels. So. Me and Dave were talking about Pitcock leaving Ineos when he first got here. Not surprising. I mean, they snubbed him on the lot of races he wanted to do at the end of the year. But then, I don't. Did we change the subject? Because is there was Ineos kind of saying he's not a team player? So
That's what you had said.
yeah,
That he was a prick or something like that.
I think Ineos doesn't think he's a team player, but yeah, I'm not surprised. Look, the writing was on the wall. I think everyone saw it coming. But yeah, we'll see how he does when he's on well, what do they call it? They don't call him the same thing anymore when it's not World Tour.
I think it's
They
just
call
pro
it
team.
Pro Team, yeah, Pro Team. Yeah. That Q3, I think it's Q365. They tend to get invited to the big events though. So Whiskey Six, what's up? You said Columbia Fairbanks boot. You've worn them in the teens. Deity Death Traps haven't trashed the soles. Oh, good, yeah, because that's basically what I'm using. I'm using the Deity compounds on my snow bike, which are less aggressive than the Death Traps. So wearing shorts year round is hardcore. Pudgy wins again. I know we've talked about this, and Pudgy's like, "Well, I'm a big dude," and I'm like, "But isn't skin still skin?"
Skin still like no tights or nothing.
Yeah,
Just
oh, it's straight up short.
raw dogging
Yeah,
it like that.
raw dogging it.
I could see tights, but man, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Trek 37 is equivalent to your Gary Fisher. I want to look up the Trek 730. Just I can't remember which one I had, but it was the year I had it. It was like a green bike that faded to a purple fork. Oh, that's a 750. I typed in 730, dude. Google. There's a 730. Mine was definitely a similar style bike. I can't. Ooh, I like that orangey one. I wonder if oh, there it is. That's the bike. That might be the bike I had because it was a purple to green fade. But why would they break just because they're a hybrid? No, they're not built as that because you don't reinforce the just like you see with a lot of modern mountain bikes and stuff where they have a shim, under the top tube and stuff like that. So they're just not building the joints is where the tubes come together is tough. The butting profiles could be different. Then also dropouts on like a cheaper hybrid would just be those simple sheet metal ones on a lot of bikes instead of like a forged dropout. Just different things. They're not building them to the same tolerances. Same thing as today. There's stuff that's mountain bike rated and there's stuff that's not. Some people think stuff's overbuilt because of mountain bike rating. But just is what it is. Yeah, that's the bike I got stolen from Kent. Should look this guy up. Maybe it's him. Actually, the funny thing is Rick, who I bought this studio from, had the exact same one in the exact same colorway, and he sold it to his nephew, and we were up in Ann Arbor. And I saw it, I'm like, that's my bike.
To the channel.
Yeah, you grew up today. Yeah, you grew up in even colder than Central Ohio. That's right. Yeah, green tube. You're right. Crust bikes. Those are bikes that will handle drops with wide clearance for sure. A lot of people suggest that still, Pudgy. When I make a winter riding video, they're like, put bread bags over your feet. I depends on what you're doing. I do worry about the moisture with that, but. Somebody said you're also building a Gary Fisher Tiburon, which is basically a Trek 7300. Yeah, depending on the years with Gary Fishers, they were Treks for what? A while after they bought it, then phased out the brand name. I've never, people always talk about road salt. Again, my winter bike is a aluminum bike, which isn't going to be as affected by salt as bad, but I just find like keeping it clean, hosing it off, re-lubing it. It's a 2001. It's been on every winter ride for years and years now, and then same, I still take my rally out on the salted roads. I just keep it clean. So yeah, it just depends. I don't know. Depends on how careful you are with your bikes, and I'm definitely not the most careful, but I don't feel like road salt just destroys bikes. I mean, I've bought bikes that are sitting in people's yards that have been exposed to the weather and are still going. So, traveling through said skin is skin, but just different. Huh? Cookie. A Proflex Flame with elastomer shocks, and the brakes lined up with 700 instead of 26. Because I feel like a lot of those hybrids. Didn't a lot of the hybrids have 26-inch wheels? The multi-tracks? I thought they were 26-inch wheels. I could be wrong. I don't remember. I didn't know anything about bikes when I rode that bike. So.
See, I picture a hybrid with a 700.
Yeah, I know my dad's Giant has 700. So. Yeah, those are good bikes. There's still American-made bikes back then too. Didn't know that new Dave just say he could see me in tights. Bro, I'm more than just eye candy. Robert said you get 5 feet of snow in the UP tomorrow. Dang. I think that's probably what's heading our way towards the weekend. Yeah, that 750 was nice, yeah. Oh, Myrtle, yeah, I've seen some 830 antelopes. I'm trying to remember who the last person I saw riding one of those was, but I've definitely seen them. It's Pudgy we're talking about. He's part Yeti, as are many New Englanders. Yeah. Maynards are a weird breed. The number just indicates trim level, component quality, and in some cases what steel was used. Yeah, just a model number. And Trek recycled model numbers over the years too, so you can't really, kind of like Schwinn did with names. You can't, like, someone's like, oh, it's a Schwinn Varsity. It's like, yeah, what year? That doesn't mean anything. Kenny Cass, what's up? Yeah, I've no interest in a suspension fork. I know they make like the gravel ones that low travel. I just find 55s are like the supplements I need. Definitely thought about putting a dropper on there and have talked about it. Actually, Dylan gave me some recommendations for the spring. Only thing I'm worried about is that I couldn't use the Brooks saddle because I use a Thompson setback seat post, and with the Brooks, that I really need that. It just doesn't have the fore and aft adjustability that other saddle rails like seem to have. So I would probably have to find a different saddle if I did put a dropper on the gunner. But yeah, I'm not interested in the suspension fork, though I do have a friend who rides a similar bike that put a low travel suspension fork on his and likes it. But yeah, I don't find that that's an issue for me. The dropper I feel like would make a difference on some of the stuff we ride for sure, though. That's right, Pudgy. Gary Fisher, Trek, and Le Mans were all in bed for a while, and then a certain Lance Armstrong made sure Le Mans wasn't involved anymore. Piece of shit. Go 2x8 on your build, Shimano tourney crankset. Yeah, got some 2x8 Shimano tourneys here. Well, they might be 3. They might be triples actually. I guess the crankset. You could still build a 2x if you wanted to. Not everyone has a heated bike shower in their basement, Tim. Yeah, I know. I'm lucky. I just set it up. I just put a new hose rack up and everything, so I have another. Oh, Pudgy said retiring your Journeyman as the winter bike. Journey person. Fucking sexist piece of shit. No, what did they change the name to? Journeyer.
Journeyer?
Yeah. They did change it from the Journeyman to the Journeyer. And I said, whenever I say that, people are like, it's a Journeyer. I'm like, not the time he bought it. Ride the Bear, yeah, go with the titanium so it doesn't rust. Yeah, with the Treks, right? Didn't they just kind of go up? Like they were like a little nicer if it was 700, like 730, 750, like 30 and 50 would have slightly nicer components. I don't think the frames were that different if I remember correctly, but Trek has like all that. They actually, well, they used to. I haven't looked it up in a while, but they used to have a lot of that information on their website. These are 700s. Just take a look. Oh, is this on eBay?
So is that and then when you get into the different 100, is that would be
different series of bikes, like,
but like better quality steel or
I think it actually.
Because what did it get up to? It went up to like the.
Well, because their mountain bike line started at different numbers. Because like my Trek is a
Yeah.
4900, but they had like 8000 series, So I think like the hybrids were in like but the 500s were more like the touring bikes. 700s were the hybrid bikes, and again these changed over time. And then because what were the road bike numbers? They were well. This is a 1500 and it's a road bike. So I
I'm
don't
trying
think
to
it's
think of what I got. One of their aluminum ones. It's 1500, something like that.
David Geller said converted an antelope to a drop by bike and gave it to his neighbor for the for his birthday. Nice. There were some 26-inch hybrids. I thought so. Yeah. There's an abandoned Trek 820 200 yards from here. Grab that thing, man. Oh, it might be a homeless friends only transportation. True. Oh, your bike with the spins is an Antelope 800. Yeah. Suspension stem. Yeah. Um, that reminds me. I still haven't got back to Redshift because they make those suspension stems. But again, I wouldn't put that on the Gunner. Said for the way I ride it with the tires I have and the sweep bars, I just feel like I have enough compliance in that bike. But like I said, definitely dropper. Some steel models are graded by their connecting welds for sure. Utah salt flats. With Trek, any 7 series denotes hybrid, so 700C. Is that true? If it's a 700, it has 700Cs? I did not know that.
That doesn't make sense. It would end there.
Oh, yeah, because they have road bikes or 700s. But what's up, Matt? MK? Merry Christmas. Bought your ex an 830 Antelope. Did you take it back? What?
Is that how that works? Is split up?
My brother took one back from a girlfriend when they broke up, and it was a Trek. I can't remember which. It's still hanging in my parents' barn. Yeah.
You can keep the dog. I'm taking the bike.
Seven thirties had True Temper. What's up, Shakedown? OX below that was just unbranded Chromo. Yeah. Soul asked Tim, "Are you going to do the Rest Wrap Solstice?" I don't know what that is. I know bikepacking. Is it bikepacking.com has like they talk about doing an overnighter on the winter solstice. I'm not much of a winter camper, even though I'd like to try and do one bike camping winter trip. We talked about doing it last year, me and Ben, and making a video, and then we just never got any more winter. So Restrap solstice. No, I'm not. I'm not familiar with that. Let me know what that is. The 2100 was a road bike, so. Bridgestone XL1, 26-inch wheels. Yeah, there's 2,000 of those ever made. 1,000 one year, 1,000 the next year, and then there's no more XL1s. So, score one of those. That's a fucking grail bike for most people. The owner of the bike shop in Hudson, Brent, just ran into him out at a brewery. He owns one, but he's got it cheap because it's totally trashed, from what he told me. So, but it did have the mustache bars. So, those are sweet bikes. Large Marge is also building up a couple of Bridgestones right now. The one we looked at on the live stream that we were trying to identify turns out it's definitely an MB and probably a nicer one because the lug, he stripped the paint off. The lugs look really, really pretty and the welds look nice and it fits really wide tires. So he's going to build that up over time as money allows. And then he also has a lower, like an XO1, like an XO5 or 6, I believe it is. So got a couple Bridgestone builds in the works, which we'll try and feature on the channel as he gets them going. 1,000 seem to be aluminum, 100 seem to be steel. Gotcha. Yeah, which makes sense. My 4900 is aluminum. I'm a suspension stem hater only because as it works, your center of gravity can dive into OTB territory. Yeah, I think like the modern like redshift ones and stuff like that. I mean, they're pretty tight. It's not like your handlebars are bouncing around, right? But it's good to know this Trek information. I never really thought about like what the numbers denoted. I mean, I knew there were different lines of models. You know, I knew the hybrids were around 700 because I had one. I knew the mountain bikes roughly where they were, but didn't think about the material or anything. Gabriel said, just saw the Peugeot video I posted a while back. What a cool bike. Ah, man, I've got a couple Peugeots, so I'm not sure which one, but there's definitely one. My white one is the most popular video I ever made about French bike. So, but yeah, I like all my cheap old French bikes. Nick Baum asked, how intense do we go on a bike trip planning? So we know where we're staying every night. We know the routes. So that's pretty much what we plan out. The few days before I go, or like, you know, in the spring, if I'm going to change my setup like the week before, 2 weeks before, I'll do an overnighter with the bike and the gear that I want to bring. But yeah, we definitely know where we're spending every night, like when I'm traveling with my friends, and we know what our route is roughly going to be. It doesn't mean it never gets changed. Yeah, time off work. Yeah, we know when we're going to be back. I leave, you know, knowing that like I'm not going to miss any work, and same with everybody else. So we don't go and wing it. We're definitely not out there winging it. Yeah. So pretty well planned, I would say. But like when it comes to like stops during the day, we look stuff up. Like we look up where we might want to have lunch. If we're off the beaten path, then we've definitely like got a couple places in mind. If we're traveling like, you know, the Gap C&O, Ohio Deer, you don't have to be nearly as particular. So it really just plans on what you're doing. So but yeah, we know the time we're going to be gone, and we know where we're spending our nights. So we've definitely called an audible. Like when we were in Michigan, we knew we couldn't make it. We realized real quick that we were not going to get as far as we thought we were. But STG, how many bikes do I own? I don't know. No idea. 15, 20. I have 4 or 5 bikes I ride a lot, 2 that I really ride a lot. But yeah, bikes in various states. People have given me bikes for the channel, and I have vintage road bikes and stuff like that. But yeah, 2 bikes I ride all the time, 4 or 5 bikes that I ride. So. I'm convinced the 700s were gas pipe. Maybe the 700 flats, but I mean, I definitely know they were using better butted chromoly on the higher 700 series. So, right? Maybe not. You take the dog and I'll take the bike sounds like an anti-country song. Yeah. Rock and rollers over here. What can you say? Bicycletta said, let's do an Ohio bike camp out next year. We will. Joy Machines plans a couple that we always do. Roach Clips planned one last year. So I don't know if you're in the Discord, Bicycletta, but we always share like the meetups. Pudgy's bike, we've met up for one of their campouts. So yeah, there'll definitely be some Ohio campouts next year. When it comes to longer stuff, I'll just be honest, I'm going to do that with my close friends. Just I don't plan longer big groups, like giant group stuff. I feel like that's a mess and not a way to have an enjoyable vacation. But overnighters for sure. Like it's fun to like do big group overnighters. Yeah. Yeah, like Pudgy said there, they occasionally do John Bryan. I would like to do another one of those, Pudgy, where we could actually ride John Bryan too. It started raining that night and we didn't get to ride the mountain bike trails, unfortunately. Robert said he left it hanging in her garage for it to haunt her eternally. That's wishful thinking by us bike nerds, right? That the bike's going to have that effect. Who knows? Bought a summer weight cycling vest cheap with the rear pockets, so it'll be good for an under jacket. Nice. Oh yeah, the bluish PH10. Yeah, I was looking at that bike today because I have flat bar mitts, and I was like, when I make the bar mitts video, should I put some on to that old Peugeot just to have another thing to compare the bar mitts about? So, Bicycletter, you said you did a primitive camp in Xenia over the weekend. Nice. I really like Xenia. I mean, it's got its weird side for sure. It's definitely got its mess side, but all the bike trails coming together is really cool. A couple cool bike shops there too. Good brewery. Uh, Devil Wind? Devil Wind Brewing. Waited out the rain twice on bike tours at that brewery. The 27-inch Peugeot wheel, a rare wheel. Do you think so? I feel like almost all the American ones had 27-inch wheels. So I have actually. I guess maybe they don't seem rare to me because I have 3 sets here, but maybe they're rare out in the wild. I feel like the cheap U08s all came with 27-inch Peugeot wheels, steel on those U08s, but nicer alloy ones as you went up the line a little bit. Oh, it's a century and a single ride between 1213 and 1222. You get a sweet patch for doing it. Huh. 1222. Then trying to do the Festive 500 the next week. That's kind of cool. I don't know. Yeah, maybe I could find someone who. That's going to be so weather dependent. I'm only doing a century if the weather's not perfect, but decent. MB4 with drop bars, knobbies, and a rack for the winter bike. But ugly gray paint. Yeah, that's perfect. Did you say you're selling one, Chuckles? Or are you interested in your Peugeot? Shakedown said we should plan an Alum Creek overnight. Centrally located, everyone can make their own plan. Yeah, someone just hit me up about. I think it's a comment that I haven't got back to yet on YouTube about doing an Alum Creek ride. I think that's someone. I don't think that was actually you. That was someone else, wasn't it? I've definitely been down there because we've come down through that area on Ohio to Erie. Where did I see that? I thought that was a YouTube comment. I know whoever said that. I haven't had the chance to respond to it yet. Maybe someone emailed me or it might be an Instagram DM. That's probably what it is. Yeah, and we've talked about doing a Columbus meetup for years, and we really need to make it happen. Just like put up like whether it's an overnight or just a ride, like Columbus area meetup with the channel, and we just have so many friends in that area. How are there flies down here? Have you seen the fly? There's like fruit flies.
I haven't noticed, no.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Bike Breath? We talking winter bikes? I had an old Raleigh that got destroyed after one winter. Huh? Were you able to clean it at all? Like I said, I ride my old Raleigh on the salty roads all the time, but I'm pretty, especially if I ride my Raleigh or my Gunner, I'm very anal about like getting it cleaned up. So whereas like my aluminum Trek, sometimes it sits there and the next day I kind of hose it off and stuff. So going back to fat biking this year. Yeah, and you guys will get considerably more snow than us, so that makes total sense. Gabriel, you said you have an 86 Schwinn Super Sport with original Shimano 600 group set in Columbus tubing. Nice. My road bike is a Peloton, which would be an 87. It's Columbus tubing as well. That doesn't have its original group set though. It has a 90s. Actually, it has a 90s Durace Drifter group set, STI group set. So yeah. Oh yeah, French bikes are a total pain in the ass when you try and modernize them or do anything with them. So I know all about that. Yeah. Like I said, my Peugeot, the white one, I bought a new old stock seat post and it still slipped, and I actually put a little piece of beer can in there to give it that extra.
Yeah.
That was the space it needed, and it worked perfectly. But it was supposed to be a French seat post. But yeah, the bars, everything with the French stuff's a little off, and then the bottom brackets go the other direction as well. So you'll find yourself cranking on one of those bottom brackets. Why won't this? It's so seized.
That's what I did on.
Yeah.
Right.
What's even worse is the Motobacon. Some have Swiss, which is different than both. So instead of double or left side both ways,
They're both the same direction.
yeah. So and then how do you know that? You just start cranking on the thing. And
Just
Yeah.
turn it till it.
yeah. Because I have two Motobacons here. One I haven't worked on yet, but one was my dad's, and I found out the hard way. So. Hey George P, welcome. Glad you dig it. A Trek Roscoe 8 as the commuter. I'm not familiar with them. Don't buy a Canyon. Don't buy a Canyon. Go to a bike shop. Don't buy a bike online. If there's a good, I'm just saying, if there's a good bike shop around, go to the bike shop. I know every brand is going online, and Canyon innovated that. But if you do have a decent bike shop, support your local bike shop. That's my thoughts. Even I'd even support a Trek dealer over supporting Canyon, because at least people have to be hired in the community to work for Trek, right? They might put on rides. They might do some stuff that builds community. Canyon, even though one of my favorite riders in the world rides for them, they don't do anything for the cycling community, and they use weird components that when you bring it into a bike shop, when something breaks because you'll have no idea how to fix it, some bike shops will look at you and be like, hey, fuck off. You bought this online and I'm not going to do it. Like, there's bike shops that will not work on Canyons. So a lot will, and they're going to charge you for it because they use weird proprietary components. But yeah, sorry to my Canyon friends. I have a number of friends who ride Canyons. I don't like that bike brand. So they make nice bikes. Don't get me wrong. The bikes are good. I don't like what they do. So. Elm Creek just got a facelift this year. Nice. I always see Dylan riding there, but nice shakedown. Yeah. Yeah. Gotcha. Now that'd be cool to do for sure. I think we look to spring though, and try and not conflict it with Joy Machines up in Cleveland. Conflict it. Is that how the Canadians say it? Sorry, bike breath. Whenever I mispronounce something in just a weird way, I always say, "Is that the Canadian way?" But oh, Nick, you said you're going to try and do a bunch of club events for the Festive 500. I do the Festive 500 almost always totally solo. There was one year where Aaron was going to try and do it, and then with the way the timing worked out, that Ben was able to ride. But I think last year I only did one of my Festive 500 rides with anybody else. So, but also my schedule between Christmas and New Year's, like I said, could be totally dead. So I can ride when the weather is favorable, whereas other people have to work around their work schedules. So it's probably the inflexibility on my part. Oh, there you go, Bike Breath. You said you rode your single speed all city the other day and meticulously cleaned it, but when you had your old Raleigh, you just left it in the snowbank. Yeah, I saw your Instagram story, Bike Breath, about like saying goodbye to your single speed for the winter because you didn't want to. I assumed it was because you didn't want to drag it through the salt and bad weather. What's up, Cassidy? Isn't Trek the only one buying out local bike shops though? Yeah, like, it's weird that we talked about that. I know in certain communities that's like a big thing, and now I guess some of them are closing. When I was in Philly riding with Rick, who used to watch the channel and chat on here all the time, he showed me a couple that Trek had bought that were local bike shops. which I know some people have a problem with. Uh, I'm not. I have. There's 3 Treks in this building, and I ride one as my winter bike. I'm not a huge fan of Trek as a company either these days, but yeah. So, but that's an issue that I have not read up on, and I don't really know what's going on with that. Are these ones that were going to close anyways, or are they shutting them? Are they buying them and getting rid of everybody else's brands in there? Then whatever. I wouldn't. Trucks. It's not run by great people. They're a bunch of fucking fascists. They went downhill after the Lance Armstrong stuff. I mean, they put out a bunch of that crappy carbon that was breaking, and then they got all got rid of Le Mans, got sew up Lance's ass and all that stuff, and then now they're just cop bikes. So. That's the history of Trek from the '90s, mid '90s on.
That's all you need to know.
That's all you need to know. Yeah, it's funny because I am not someone who meticulously cleans bikes. Like I'm sure Dave here is. You're probably meticulous when you get dust on it, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Knock the dust off that bicycle.
Salt works crazy though. When I moved, I moved in the wintertime and having 2-3 on the bike rack at a time, and didn't touch them. With the whole moving process, and it's just instantly everything went to rust.
Yeah, I know. Even me and Ben had to leave them outside an Airbnb in Connecticut after riding all day in the rain, and there was surface rust on the chain the next day. So, yeah, I don't in the summer, just dirt. My Raleigh's sitting here with dirt all over it right now, but it hasn't been in the winter yet. So I'm pretty meticulous about the winter stuff, but summer stuff, I'm not that. I when I watch Dustin Klein videos and he's washing his bike and talking about still degreasing and regreasing chains, which is something I used to do. And then I'm reading Camping Nolo's instructions on their chains. They say not to degrease them. I mean, Campy says not to degrease their chains. I'm not degreasing chains anymore. So.
Yeah, but is that a new Campy chain?
Yeah, I just keep them clean. Just keep them. My drivetrains are clean. I do. That's important to me. But dirt on the frame, come on, ain't nobody got time for that. I ride bikes. I don't clean bikes. I say that as a joke, but it is true. In the summer, it's my goal is to ride bikes. Keep the drivetrain running smooth, keep the chain greased, keep it from getting the pulley wheels from being covered in dirt. But
see, I think my outlook changed when I realized what I had. Getting the first road bike that wasn't your beater grow up mountain bike or whatever, and not realizing oh wait, this has value to it, and then starting to take care of it after you realize oh crap, this is actually kind of rare and nice.
Yeah. I used to even when I go out to bike party and I'd be riding one of my vintage bikes, I would clean it beforehand.
Yeah.
I'm going out on there's gonna be a bunch of people here. I want my vintage French bike to look cool as it can.
Right.
I've waxed some of those vintage bikes to give them that extra level of protection, but my gravel bike, I do, like I said, keep the drivetrain clean. But the tubing and stuff like that, the wheels, I don't clean them when they're just dirty. Vanderpool rides Canyon, yeah. I was actually thinking of Cassia New Adoma, but yeah. Canyon SRAM, I don't like SRAM either. And they're one of my favorite women's cycling world tour teams. So, Bike Breath said, my wife bought a Canyon online and it was a brutal experience. She loves the bike but highly recommends not doing it. That's, kind of the thing. Their bikes are great. I'm not saying they're not good bikes, but yeah. What do you do when something goes wrong? They're a pain to work on, and like I said, some bike shops hate working on them, and some refuse to. You can get around the bottom bracket thread insanity with Bello Orange sells the bottom brackets, and the Phil Wood sells bottom brackets that are those compression styles, so you don't have to worry about the threading. That's for sure. But if your bike is already built and you need to take it apart, that doesn't do you any good in that moment because you still have to get the old one out. So. Gabriel said, ever seen those Raleigh Racing USA 80s vintage road bikes? Yeah, and then, but even I love that. Those, what was the team that was riding Raleigh in the late 70s, early 80s? Those were really cool bikes too. Those, they were kind of like red, blue, and yellow. Yeah, that's kind of when Raleigh actually was building British bikes again. They had the, what was Raleigh's? Raleigh had a division that was like building like hand built race bikes again in the late 70s and the early 80s. Raleigh, yeah. Trek now has 0 dealers in Philly, Will said. Okay. Yeah, we were riding up the, is that the Schuylkill River Trail? I can't remember if that where we went and had lunch was the next town over or if it was just a neighborhood of Philly. We must have been 10 miles up the river though, and there was a truck dealer up there. So. Heg Kuden. Saw the part about large clearance drop bar and love my surly ghost grappler for that. Yeah, someone just posted a cool ghost grappler in the Discord when we were talking about those bikes. They're great for that reason, for sure. And kind of made for drop bars. Yeah. Hey, what's up? Obscurity. Pon Holdings? Do you know what Pon Holdings is, Dave? P-O-N?
Sorry, I'm looking at Raleigh road bikes. Because this bike is sick. I wish I could. We gotta set that up.
I know, so you could pop it up. So we've talked about this for about a month, but we do have a strategy where Dave could like throw up the photos so I could still pay attention. But we've just been working on other projects right up till the stream time and haven't pulled it off. So let's see it.
I think this is the team you're talking about.
Oh yeah, TA Raleigh. But yeah, that's the Fignon. Yeah. TA Raleigh was the ones that were building those road bikes, but I could look up Fignon. Yeah. The professor. Le professor.
Now this says new old stock, which I find hard to believe, but
oh yeah, those are sweet. No, come on, don't make it big. Those aren't the chromed out ones, but these are the colors that I was thinking of. Oh yeah. That's kind of like the one you were looking at.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
Yeah, I think those were like the TA rallies at that point. They were oh, look at that. It has that has cantilever brakes on it.
Yeah.
That's so weird. And it has Fignon's name on it, so it's definitely the road bike. It's not a cross bike. Oh, he has calipers on this one. Oh, these are Campy Deltas on this one. Interesting. Oh yeah, System U was the team. That's the jacket.
Nice.
Haven't gone down road bike memory lane for a while. Second Brian said Trek bought out a local shop here, but the owner was glad to sell. The downside was that Trek stopped letting other local shops sell their bikes. So that's kind of more of the thing, is that once they go Trek dealer, they kind of monopolize the market with that. Well, yeah. Maybe they just get QPP better bikes in there than or something. You know. I figured if the bike never warmed up in the snowbank, it wouldn't have time to rust. Didn't work well. That sounds like a big chunk for a long time of my bicycle knowledge level, like the way I would have lived about things. I mean, My winter bike, I just WD-40'd everything after the ride. Wiped it down and just WD-40'd everything all the time. And like Otis is like, that's a good way to ruin your bike. I'm like, well, I got proof it doesn't. 24 years old, baby. Hey, what's up, Madison? But the tire pressure was always accurate. Carbon and titanium don't rust, just sell a kidney. Yeah. All the components are still going to be metal, though. What's up, Michael Stark? Hard to find a good local shop in Detroit. It's a good. There's a good local shop in Detroit. I moved everything around. I had a water bottle from them. Metropolis. Yeah, check out Metropolis. Nothing wrong with the co-op either, but yeah, Metropolis over there in Corktown is a good bike shop in Detroit. Yeah, yeah, get nothing wrong with moving, doing more regular biking. Have the e-bike for those hilly rides or windy days. I break bikes. I don't fix bikes. Hey, what's up, Sam? You don't shower with your bikes? Well, it's like they were saying, like how I do have the floor drain in the basement. My shower is right across from that because this is not a actual apartment. So my I basically do. It's pretty close. Oh yeah, William Brown is up that way. Yeah, outskirts of Detroit. Are they saying you're Igor of Young Frankenstein? Is that what's going on here?
Where are you at?
I don't know. I also have it on Top Chat, and I'm afraid to switch it now because I don't know where it's going to go. Should I do it?
Yeah. You've been covering pretty
Most
much
things?
everything.
Oh, I'm way back, huh? No?
You're not too far.
Yeah. David said never had a problem with the Canyon, just got to keep up on the maintenance yourself. For sure, yeah. David has a Canyon, Ames has a Canyon. My buddy, different Dylan, not the mountain biking Dylan, has a Canyon. Like I said, he actually did. He just had to send it back, and they replaced the whole bike except the fork. It cracked. Um, yeah, that is not something I expect from a Canyon, but his frame actually cracked. But I don't mean that as a condemnation of the carbon they do, but 2 out of 3 ain't bad, as Meatloaf once said. It doesn't even make sense. Kind of does, but whatever. Ron Hoover said, "Hi Tim, I don't know how to wrap my handlebar tape. Am I a wimp?" No, I literally, when I wanted to be able to wrap my handlebars, I watched some YouTube videos to see like a couple ways people did it. I watched GCNs, I watched Park Tools, and I find it intimidating the first couple times because you want your bar tape to look good, right? You want it to. You also don't want to get to the end before you run out of bar tape, so you just got to do it. Um, you could buy cheap bar tape and do it, or you could buy non-sticky bar tape and do it because then you could always back off. But I do think that's the thing to remember is as you start to do it, you're not locked in. Like if you find yourself messing up, you could just back it up a little bit. But yeah, watch some YouTube videos and do it. Like one of the things I talk about a lot of bike maintenance, there's certain things I don't do myself. They're like bike mechanics do this stuff every day with every kind of bike, right? You're not that. If you don't build bikes left and right, then you change your bar tape once a year, why would you be good at it? You wouldn't be, right? There's someone who does that every day of their life and they're experts. So I don't know. I say that about a lot of bike stuff where, again, is it worth me getting all this stuff to set up my tires tubeless? Maybe I'm getting to that point because the tires I ride don't last that long, but like that's what the video I was riding my wheel to the shop. I'm like, I'm gonna have the guys who set up tires tubeless every day of their life set my tires up tubeless. But you know, And I know Terry B has the opposite opinion. He's like, learn to do everything yourself on your bike. So, yeah. But no, you're not a wimp, is the short answer. Oh, Pond is the big conglomerate that owns Cannondale and Cervelo. Yeah, I do remember when they bought Cannondale. Rocky, so anyone have a Routworks bar bag? $160 and it rattles. What the fuck? I don't have any advice on that one. What?
Advice is don't spend $160 on a bar bag.
Well, I don't. It rattles. I wonder what it is that would make it. Because my bar bags just there's nothing in them to rattle. They're held on by fillet straps and
Yeah.
uh, yeah. So I'm guessing it's one of those that are kind of like cantilevered, like a more like a
Like the mount itself is rattling.
yeah. Sycamore State Park is a great spot to camp off the Wolf Creek bike path west of Dayton. That is an area I've not been to. Yeah. John Cridler with the inside Tour de France joke of the Raleighs there 8 seconds slower than a Le Mans. Everyone made fun of Le Mans for his aero bars. They worked, and everyone runs aero bars now. If you don't know, that was the closest Tour de France ever, and Le Mans beat Fignon, whose Raleighs we were looking at there, on the last stage in the time trial, by being the first guy to, I think he was the first to run aero bars. So someone else has route work bags without any issues. Nice. John Pot. Yeah, I know I looked into them when they bought Cannondale, but yeah, so yeah, thanks for the details. I didn't remember them all for sure. Trey's Tacos, yeah, that year's tour was pretty much the best ever. What's up, Hot Dog from Cowtown? GreenTube said, you're surprised I don't have any Rivendales. My ethos seems pretty aligned with them. Yeah, I really like their bikes. One, I don't have that kind of money. That probably pretty much ended there. But I guess I would say two things is about Rivendell. Like, I really like their bikes. I really like their ethos. One thing is like building modern bikes that have like vintage standards, like quill stems and stuff like that. One of my things is like I can just buy a vintage bike that does that. The thing with the Rivendells, of course, is the clearance, but yeah, I guess I don't have any new bikes. Is the the true thing? Like, so yeah, mostly. I do really like Rivendells. I do really like Crusts. I just don't spend a ton of money on brand new bikes, and I have the two that like I got the two that I ride that are the more like modern bikes that I ride, that are still steel bikes, on trades for doing work. So it's kind of where I am, and they do what I need them to do. So I'm not like a style guy. So really like Rivendells, really like Crusts. What would the Crust do that my Gunner doesn't do? What would a new gravel bike do that my Raleigh doesn't do? So to me, I'm pretty practical on that kind of stuff, except when it comes to the vintage stuff, and then I have a ton of it, and I just mess around with it endlessly, and it's totally unnecessary. But yeah. Pudgy, are you going to make us get back into this again? Pudgy doesn't like Graham Peterson. You know what? I have a. Speaking of BMXs, I have this like boat anchor Tony Hawk here that's just in my way. Does anyone want it? Grant might be Ron's dad. Just saying. Yeah. I don't. I like I've said it before. I think Grant's really really smart. I think the stuff he was doing early on at Bridgestone is the XO1s like we were talking about earlier are genius bikes that were just way too ahead of their time. The market didn't know how to handle them. The bike reviewers didn't know how to review them, and it's the stuff that we're all riding now. So I think Grant's a genius, and I also really think Ronnie is kind of someone who does the same thing in his own way. So yeah, they're beautiful bikes. Also, actually, I think some of the earlier Rivendell's were being built by Gunner, which Waterford. I think there were Waterford made Rivendell's early on. But what's up, Jay? In Grand Rapids, Michigan. Been there. Rode a skateboard, but not a bicycle. Bicyclist said, "Yeah, you're getting a Riv when you hit the lottery." Yeah, and then I have friends. I mean, I know people who own multiple Rivs. You know, they do. I feel like if I ever got a Riv, it wouldn't be like. It wouldn't be something typical. It'd be something insane, like a. I don't think they make this model anymore, but like the Susie Longbolt, something with those crazy long seat stays. Like if I ever spent the money on a Riv, I'd want it to be like one of their like really unique ones. Like I would never get a Rodini. I'm like, I've got 5 versions of Rodini hanging on the wall over there, you know. Like, but Carl Jeffrey said Carlton made some hand-built race frames for Raleigh in the late '60s, early '70s. Yeah, I think Carlton was making their nicer bikes, but then Raleigh had their own division that was TA Raleigh that was making their nicer bikes for a while. I can't remember. I've done the whole history of their stuff, but my brain could only hold so much information. But he said I would run Riv step through, but you don't like Grant's opinion on riding too preachy. I get it. I mean, yeah, I think it's on purpose. I think he's a personality when he writes, just kind of like Bike Snob New York City is, or like we said, Ronnie when he talks about like his anti-SRAM, like, which I totally agree with, but he's anti-modern components in general, which I'm not. But you know, you watch some of Ronnie's YouTube videos, and he's definitely dialed in on what he likes and very specific. And I, I know when I see that dude in person, he's the nicest guy in the world, and he would never judge you, or he only would silently judge you, but he's going to be really nice to you because he's a nice dude. And I think Grant's probably the same exact way. So. Gotcha, Madison. Jeff Anderson over in Milwaukee. What's up? Grant Peterson seems overly retro grouchy. He's anti disc brake index shifting. Yeah. Oh, that's a totally legit opinion. He is totally retro grouchy. Known to Dave as Igor. Now you're Igor. I use bikes. I don't think we're gonna get ourselves shut down tonight. So, but yeah. Hey Gary Price, thanks. Terry's in here. Bunch of SRAM hating wimps in here. How early is it into? Wait, 9 o'clock. Wait, if you're going out riding at 6 p.m.
It's about midday.
Midnight, yeah.
No, midday.
Midday? Oh yeah, because he's starting his bike streams at 9 a.m. Japan time, and that's 6 p.m. our time. So, yeah. Oh yeah, Rock, I saw you chatting in Terry B's stream yesterday. I didn't chat at all, but I had it on while I was working. So, I find that sometimes I can't get involved in the chat because then I won't get anything done, but I can have it on in the background and still read. So I actually have YouTube chat and Twitch chat open on my third monitor while I'm working, but I won't. A lot of times I just won't get started because then I won't be able to pay attention to what I also need to do, even though I'm kind of reading. So Japan trip looks awesome. I'll be interested to see what Osaka looks like. Tokyo looks so weird to ride. That car forward mentality is intense. I mean, it's crazy. Like bikes have to go on the sidewalks, and pedestrian bridges are like in Las Vegas where you like have to go up and over the street. Like it's just like in like the I don't know if it's I haven't seen like as much of like the downtown what might be Times Square in New York type areas, but man, like when you're where the cars are moving, it is a car culture for sure. It almost makes car culture in the U.S. not look that bad. Oh, your first bar tape was experience was on the local bars. Jeez. So let's all play the quiet game for 37 minutes so Tim can catch up and not get distracted. Not a chance of that. Swift bags hold up amazing. I don't have a thread out of place on any of them, and some are now really, really old. Don, granted, Swift claims that the ones that they now have made overseas are even better quality than their original ones. Almost all mine, except that probably the frame bag I just bought off Pudgy, are the older American ones, and they're great. So yeah. Donald, I think I've stayed. What is the? No, we've stayed at the state park near Oregonia. Is that I would need to look at my map, but I've definitely stayed. I know we went right through Oregonia before we camped at one of the state parks out there. You heard it here first. Tim shaming us all for buying modern bikes. Yeah, I don't know why there's a Tony Hawk BMX bike. I have no idea. It's the heaviest bike I've ever felt in my entire life. Oh yeah, that Gus Boots is like the super long, they're crazy long stay bike. Yeah, I don't know if Rivendell is overpriced. I mean, they're not selling millions of bikes. It's kind of the way it goes, right? You pay a premium for boutique stuff. Bike Press just saw a beautiful 53 Susie Longbolts in Montreal. File under can't afford it but wanted to. I think I would probably go like with something more if I was going to go that route. I would still I don't know. I just buying a new bike with vintage stuff is just not. I don't know. Vintage like standards is kind of weird to me. Even though I like quill stems on some of my bikes. 11:26 a.m. in Japan. So it's almost so it's an 8 hour, no 10 hour difference. 10 hour difference.
Yeah, about midday.
Yeah. Yeah, probably riding. Doesn't he have multiple Rivendells? Really enjoy his channel now too. Watching a drone freakout channel right now? What does that mean? I don't know what that means. Seen any in Ohio? Like drones? I mean, I own a couple.
Is there something happening that we're not aware of?
Yeah, is this a whole Oh, I don't know, Pudgy. I'll have to look up like what Ireland has. Yeah. Osaka is more like New York City riding. I think I remember you saying that. Was that before you went or last time you were out there? Yeah. Tokyo looks God so confusing. Ben Large Marge, who actually turned me on to Terry's channel, has ridden in Tokyo, and he did say how confusing it was. And that was, God, that must have been a decade ago. When is the Tim hotline? I made my version of hotline when I was in New York City. That's about as much much balls as I have. It's definitely not going to be like Tony or any of those guys. That's for sure. Oh, I don't know, Pudgy. I don't know how old your bag was. I mean, could be. I'm good at wrapping my own drop bars, but I don't want to be paid to do it. Yeah, gotcha. Oh, Caesar's Creek. Yeah, that's where we stayed. Caesar Creek. What am I drinking? This is a Collision Bend Seatown West Coast IPA. So Collision Bend is a cool spot right on the Cuyahoga River in Cleveland. Cool views of the bridges and the flats there. Just only maybe a half mile most in from Lake Erie, as the kids say. Rode through the Pyrenees on stationary bike with a video. I had a day where I planned to ride the Alpe d'Huez the Alpe d'Huez like recreation on Zwift, and my trainer tire went flat the day I was gonna do it, and I was so hyped, and I put out the time, and I was ready. I had all my water and snacks, and never done it. Alien drones in New Jersey. But there is like drone freakout stuff going on. Dave, are you looking this up?
The only thing I could find was videos of drones freaking out.
Oh, drones freaking out. What? They just start like shaking and stuff?
Yeah, just like glitching.
I do feel like this alien drones in New Jersey was some kind of story, and man, I don't know. With the Trump takeover, I'm trying to get as little news as possible. Just everything lately. Everything like Syria falling, which seems like good news, but the rebel group that marched into Damascus is considered a terrorist group by the U.S. Israel's now bombing part of Syria.
Mm-hmm.
The North Turkey's now taking advantage of everything they can. It's a night. What a night. This world's a fucking nightmare. It's always been a nightmare. We just have too much news now. But
We just know too much.
we just know too much, yeah. I've never been to Paint Creek. That's right, Hog Dog. You're in Colorado, but you were in the area. Blue Ash Airport. Oh. Definitely upgraded going to Colorado. It's so busy out there. Yeah, I was talking. Someone commented about like their good weather in California, and I can't remember what they said. Something, but my buddy Wes lived in Long Beach for a number of years, and he's like, yeah, it's overcrowded, and he's like, for a goddamn reason. He's like, the weather's perfect every day of the year. That's why it's overcrowded, you know. The news has been covering unidentified drones over New Jersey recently. Oh, okay. I pay enough attention that kind of stuff, like, after I thought about it, I'm like, I saw something about that, but did not dive into it. So, probably Russians or North Korea.
Jdandy became a member. Jdandy celebrates 45 months of membership. Big Effin, Alien, Drones Yeti, Banana, Sasquatch, Potato, Japan, World Map, Evergreen Tree, Soft Serve Ice Cream.
Soft serve ice cream. I doubt it's North Korea. Maybe Russia, but yeah. Could be China. They make all the best drones. Should be China. Their drones are the best by far. So are their cameras. Filming on a Chinese DJI right now. War of the Worlds, standard New Jersey distraction technique. Huh. Drones in New Jersey. The Dickies need a new song. It's an update on Stukas over Disneyland. That's a reference nobody's gonna get. Deep cuts on this December 10th. Sound like my grandma trying to say one of our names. Peter,
Yeah.
Jeff,
Yeah.
Carrie, Tim. It's bike riding YouTubers and their drones. Bill Baker, you said you had a bike stolen. Feels so sick, like you lost a friend. Oh, yeah. Said had one stolen. It was a long time ago, an old truck hybrid, but yeah, no worse feeling. I have some that are so sentimental now that I would definitely feel like I lost a friend. If they are invading, it must be Mexican drones. Yeah. Dave said it's funny. The lady whose property you hunt on asked if you saw any drones while hunting. Yeah, any place cool with money is going to be crowded. That's how it is. The world is turning to the movie Idiocracy. Oh yeah, no, this next 4 years, man, it's going to be 100%. What time are we? Are we
9:40?
Should we wind this down? So I gotta work tomorrow and every day until next Monday.
And every day for the next 30 years.
Yeah, every day until I die, because I have no retirement plan except this building. And I've at least got to cover the property taxes and the utility bills. Yeah. Do you ever think about that? How you never really own any, like you can't really own anything in this country because no matter how much you own it, like you still got a bunch of taxes on it. It's like you're renting it from the government no matter what. Did I just blow your mind? That's what that mean with the guy going.
I mean, there's, I guess, ways to get around that.
How?
Disappear into the woods.
Well, I mean, yeah, you wouldn't own anything then.
Just own life.
Yeah. So, I love, yeah, Deity. Like I love the Blade Runners, but even their cheaper ones are nice. Yeah. Ah, nice ENP. That sounds like a good. That'll be rad. It's weird. I don't see like Deity get a lot of like press. Like you know what I mean? Like the wolf tooth pedals and a lot of other flat pedals I hear like in reviews and stuff all the time. I don't like ever hear anything about Deity, but I don't know. I love them. After your bike got stolen, you slowed down to look at every garage sale. Yeah. If my bike got stolen now too, like the internet thing would be almost so overwhelming. My bike got stolen in 1997, and it's like, well, that's it. I could check the classifieds every week, maybe. Back of the Beacon Journal, but. Anaheim doesn't have any bike rentals, really. There's no shops with that kind of thing? Interesting. Yeah, more t-shirts soon, so there will be industrial gravel shirts. So good to say that you do want an XXL, so I will make some of the bigger sizes too, so. What's up, Nathan? He's write it off. My accountant. My friend who rides bikes, who later became my accountant. So. I've always made the big sizes, Party size definitely had an influence on me for people not doing that, so. Brian Ferris, at least they don't license and tax bikes for sure. It's interesting. While cleaning up around here, I found one of those like stamps that are like prepaid tax. I don't know what year it's from. Do you ever seen those things?
Mm-mm.
They look like postage stamps. That's right there. No, I mean these things got to be old, but see how close this could focus. Oh wow, really close. Yeah. Yeah, check it out. It fell out of one of the bike things, like vintage bike things. Are the drones in the room with us now? That's funny. Deity Cushcore grips. It's funny, I haven't actually used their grips. I just said wolf tooth, but I've got wolf tooth grips on my bike now. So. But I wanted pink, so I was pretty better options sell themselves. Michael Jordan never had to ask to be on a team. What's up, Shane? Greetings from Detroit. Yeah, check out Deity. I would definitely recommend if you're gonna go with the uh, more plasticky ones, definitely look at the depth traps over the compound. The problem I have with the compound is where the axle is kind of is a little rises up a little bit, and one could feel a little uncomfortable on long miles. Not a huge problem, but it just kind of negates like the good grip you get from having the pins on the end. So I think the depth trap is a better pedal. My favorite are the Blade Runners, but they're not cheap. So, second Brian, both your stolen bikes ended up being found in pawn shops. No way. Need to get new bike pedals. These super grippy ones shred your shins when you wear shorts. Oh yeah, the Deity would not be the solution to that though. XXL, nice. Yep, grab bandanas are ordered. Just had the final um, email with the guy who's printing them. They're going to be printed in Cleveland, and they're going to be actually this a different style, much softer, and they're going to be a different colorway as well. So yeah, I told the guy I'm not trying to beat the holidays. Canopy Press in Cleveland. Uh, I said so if you have people, if you have customers who are like trying to get their stuff done and bothering you, I said push me to the back of the line. That is not. I'm not trying to do any kind of holiday thing. So he said they're about 3 weeks out. So yeah, probably after the new year. So oh, they don't even make the compound anymore. Interesting. Yeah, we're going yellow with pink lettering. Did I share a link somewhere? I don't know. Reversing the colors and then also the kind of bandana. It'll be the exact same size, but it'll be super soft cotton instead of the more uh, thicker kind that the other ones were. By the way, Pudgy, I didn't send your package yet, but I did just grab that bandana and put it in a pile of your stuff. So you have one of the older style coming too. Bellingham, Washington. Thanks, Andrew. Andrew, your name sounds familiar. Did I send you something? Or maybe just a comment? Brian said, and the insurance industry hasn't made it mandatory for riders to carry insurance. Yeah, I just think what are the enforcement mechanisms on that, right? I mean, uh, but yeah, I'm sure they would if they could. But yeah, Eric said, Fitz, how come you don't use clipless pedals? How come you don't use flat pedals? I have never had just no need to. I like to wear the shoes I like to wear. I don't want to put on bike shoes. I just want to wear my shoes. So pretty much just that. Have a bunch of different bikes originally, so I didn't want to switch everything to clipless. And then I like wearing my Vans old schools or 510s. I don't. Yeah. Just yeah. No. I guess no problem with clipless pedals, but just no reason to use them. I haven't found a reason that I need them. I definitely liked cages on my road bikes. I mean, I know I would like clipless on road bikes. I just don't ride road bikes that much, so yeah, just no reason. Race face Chesters. I think Aaron has a pair of race face Chesters. I've seen those. No, not Aaron, but I've definitely seen those pedals. The insurance industry would just deny that you ride. Too soon? Yeah, never. Vibe said, gonna be alone for Christmas Day, planning a big ride here in Idaho. Yep. If the weather's good, I'll ride over to my parents' house. It's about 10 miles, but yeah. Luigi's is your enforcement mechanism. Whoops. Been meaning to try those MKS pedals with the suction cup texture. I'm not familiar with those. Jeff said, been waiting for a Tim bandana to complete the look. Thanks. Very used to You use Chesters for that reason, the freedom. Yeah. Brian said, I'm a convert away from clipless pedals. Huh. That's interesting because I have almost no friends who ride clipless that ever go back. So that's interesting to hear. So almost everyone I know who rides clipless does not enjoy riding flats after they've ridden them. So interesting. My thing, I've never ridden. I've never ridden them. So bicycle dad, I have not bought any uh, winter shoes beyond the ones I already have yet. So haven't really made a decision. We talked a lot about that early in the stream about maybe hiking boots seem to be what most people recommend for the really cold weather. Colby said, I've heard this a number of times. I know Pathless Pedaled always talks about this. Um, that like a lot of clipless shoes just don't have a big enough toe box. So hey Scott, first time caller, long time listener, greetings from Alabama. One of the few states one of the few states on this side of the country I've never been to. So hey, what's up, Dimitri? You off work? You done moderating and fixing the stream for the evening, telling people that 8-bit is something that can't be fixed till Terry stops riding? I was listening. That was yesterday, right? Terry kind of went off on that poor, what was their name, Real something, for asking again about the 8-bit, saying they didn't like it. So no one likes it. It's not supposed to be happening. That's not what he said, but that was the gist of it. So. Bubbly Simworks MKS pedals. Yeah, nice. Oh yeah, that's right. You do ride some clipless too, Pudgy. Yeah. I'm like, again, I'm not anti clipless. I just don't. I've never used them, and I don't have a need for them. Don't feel a need to switch. Pudgy said Shimano's wide SPD shoes are great for your wide feet. Nice. What's up, Dennis? Oh yeah, there was no stream today. I didn't get a notification. That's right. So I would have had it on down here when I was cleaning the basement. Why? You? It's so funny with Terry streams. It's always the YouTube chat as the people that like they just don't get live streams. They're always writing the dumb comments. Or like the IRL, like long form live streams. Because I mean, this is obviously a live stream on YouTube, but it's just a bike chat. Totally different kind of thing. Lake. Did you mean Lake, or is that an autocorrect from Look? I've never heard of Lake. But again, I don't ride clipless, so I wouldn't know. So. Dimitri feels like his boss is here. So, geez, can't I just have some little space to try to chat? Earth Runner sandals from March to November. Yeah, I've never ridden in sandals. I know a lot of people do. I just still feel like with the stuff I ride, something's gonna go wrong, and I'm just gonna like rip a toenail off or something totally disgusting. And I am a wuss when it comes to that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I wear shoes and socks. Yeah, but I get how comfortable that would be. But yeah, I can't bring myself to do it. Which is funny because I love to walk around barefoot. I almost never wear shoes if I'm not riding my bike or working. So. Finally get some strength back. You can enjoy flats without knee pain. I do feel like that is a thing that, like, if I did ride clipless, I could lock in a position a little better, but to prevent some of that stuff, but hasn't been enough to make me want to do it. So. Has anyone looked at the new Ronnie shoes on Kickstarter? Yeah, we were chatting about them a little bit last week. I mean, I think they look really cool. Again, like they're, boutique. They're super pricey. I think they'd be really cool. Yeah, that kind of stuff for me, it like depends on how, like, if I was in the mood to get new like shoes, I would think they were cool, and it would depend on how my month was going with my freelance business. Like, can I swing some $260 shoes? Like, that's 3 pairs of Vans. So. Chris Huck, what's up? Acronite watching from Victoria, Texas. Oh, cool. Showing you some of the unusual roads. Yeah. Ride at your own risk, just for the record. One Up. Yeah, I've seen One Up flat pedals too. Yeah. I should stream vertical on YouTube. Yeah. Oh, and see like the randos that would find that on a vertical stream. That sounds like a nightmare. I caught Terry's when they were in the corn maze last fall. He did the vertical YouTube stream. I feel like that went reasonably smooth. So. Clipless pedals allow you to turn a corner on the downstroke without the pedal hitting the ground and wiping out. Why? Why would that make a difference? Oh, you mean just because they're smaller? I don't know. I run really low profile flat pedals. The DA Blade Runners. That's not going to, I mean, that's millimeters of difference. I don't know if I buy that argument. Like maybe compared to like an old, like, I don't know, 80s pedal. But yeah. John Cridler, isn't that why, and again, I don't ride clipless, so devil's advocate, isn't that what overshoes are for? So don't people wear like all those overshoe things over their clipless pedals? And I think people tape it up under the cleat or whatever. I don't know. I have friends who ride clipless all winter, but I have no experience to really talk about. So, oh, Lake is a shoe brand. Never heard of it. But again, probably because I don't ride that kind of stuff. Ride clipless for regular mountain biking and flats for fat biking in the snow. Yeah. Yeah, I am like totally out of my element in this conversation. Chris said once power grip straps on your platform pedals. Once you went clipless, you never went back. Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, a lot of my friends, that's how it is. So, what's up, Gary? Ooh, a toenail? Yeah, I was saying the grossest thing I can, so. Toenails aren't gross until they're in your food. First responder talk. Hey, what's up, Todd? My shins represent both clipless and flats, each scar representing something. So, man, this chat went crazy again. I was about to wind it down and go to bed.
That's all you got to do.
I say I'm going to
if
bed.
You ever have a slow night, right?
Everyone gets their comments in. Yeah. I don't think if I was about speed, I would ride any differently. I mean, again, I wouldn't say I would never say I'm like fast, but I've done centuries with my friends on my flat pedal bikes, at pretty decent clips, 18, 19 miles an hour. Not fast by a lot of people's standards, but yeah, clipless aren't faster. I mean, all the science has been done on it. People like clipless, like you feel more in tune with your bike, but there's no science that shows clipless pedals are faster. That whole thing that people used to talk about, like pulling up on the backstroke, like all science has said that you should pedal the way you're comfortable pedaling. There's no advantage to trying to. Do you know how much mental energy it would take to pull up on every backstroke of a pedal stroke? There's no fucking way. Nobody's doing that. Like I said, I've ridden with cages. They're not clipless, but they're close. You could tighten down cages and feel it. I feel like climbs are where there's an advantage. If you're climbing really, really hard and you tighten down your cages or you're riding clipless, that there's once in a while I felt that like I don't know. But modern pedals with shoes that match them, flat pedals are just so good. So for a pedal hitting the ground being more width, not height. Yeah, I guess, but my shoe's covering the pedal. It's not sticking out past my shoe. I mean, so again, you're talking that much. I'm going to pick up the inside. It's a habit. I don't ride with my pedal down around a corner. Like, you pick up that pedal. That's how you go around a corner when you go fast.
Unless you're trying to go fast. You can get...
I'm not going that fast anyways. I don't know. I'm not that fast downhill. All right. Good day, Terry. I was going to say good night. It's good night to us. Good day to you. So look forward to the next videos. William LeBron. I don't even want to. I want to pretend like I didn't read that. Flip flops. Being a kid when you're riding a bike. Yeah. Glenn, no, I've never tried time pedals because I've never tried any clipless pedals, period. Does time make flat pedals? I mean, I know they make clipless, but... And who swears by time? Is it actually Terry? Who's the time pedal guy?
I've never heard of time.
Yeah, I know there's someone I follow who swears by time pedals, but again, clipless stuff goes in one ear and out the other ear to me because I just don't do it, so... Hey, what's up, Acurarex? Acurarex? God damn it. Use Lake shoes for... Man, I can't believe I've never heard of Lake. Like, even saying I've heard of Time. I'm surprised I haven't heard of Lake, just from all the stuff I follow.
Lake has very nice looking shoes.
What's up, Joseph? You took your trash out? Did I read your comment? I'll message you on Instagram about the Peugeot. I feel like I must not have seen it. Flat don't work well with oval chain rings? Huh. I'm running BioPace on my... I mean, they're old school, oval in the wrong way, in the wrong direction, but I do have oval chain rings on a bike, and I don't understand why that would have really affected. I mean, it's more power to the downstroke, but you're pushing down. But again, whatever anyone's comfortable with on pedals, I have no issues, unless you try to claim that clipless are faster, because they're not. But whatever you're more comfortable with, you should ride. But yeah, I'm not sure how that would work. So. Oh yeah, true. Well, there you go, Pudgy. Yeah, you're velodrome riding or something like that, then you could, yes. And again, yeah, top tier, just like the highest end race bikes. Are they faster? Yes, if you are trying to win the Tour de France over 3,000 miles. You know, the fact that that bike makes a difference of 20 seconds up Mount Ventoux, that's 20 seconds at the pace that a pro could ride. To you, that's nothing. So. Never pull out on the backstroke. All right. See ya, used bikes. Yeah, there you go. Oh, Terry does ride time. I was right. Yeah, I thought so. I thought... You know what? I think he was saying that in his bike check video about the Weiss before he went to Japan, that he wasn't going to bring his favorite time pedals for a certain reason, and now I've forgotten what it was. But yeah. Ron's Ortho Bars, yeah. He's also a SRAM fanboy. I know that. I know that much. Oh, Time is a SRAM brand. Gotcha. Didn't Crank Brothers make the egg beaters? I'm not sure.
Yes.
Oh, they did. Yeah, they did. Yeah, I get it. I get the pedal thing. You know, Jared from Hope, I remember when he fucked up his foot riding sandals, he was like, I finally fucked up my feet riding sandals. He's like, and I'm still going to keep riding them. There you go. I don't know. I do stupid shit, and I don't mean that I ride better than anyone else. I don't know. I feel like I don't know. Ride stupid shit, and I drink a lot of beer. I'm gonna wear closed-toe shoes. I never bothered, just like the farm. I wore shorts one day, and
yeah,
my legs got
never
totally
made that
trashed,
mistake
and
again.
I wore jeans. So yeah. Yeah, that's John. That's why I really do like the pin pedals. I mean, they feel like you're locked in. They really do. But yeah, BioPace. That I set that bike up BioPace for the reason that I just wanted to try it because, it's such a weird thing. But I don't notice any difference. Then again, like they say, the kind of backwards. But all right, see ya, William LeBron. Next week's not Christmas yet, right? We got another week before that, don't we?
Correct.
Yeah. So, like we were saying, I'm going to wind this one up here. But when we do come to the week of Christmas and New Year's, I'll keep you guys posted in the Discord, and I'll make a post on YouTube, even though no one ever really sees those. Because Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve are going to be on Tuesdays, so I'm definitely not going to be streaming. Unlike during the pandemic when we did, because we had nothing else to do but eat Kit Kats from Japan. And we literally had a Japanese Kit Kat tasting on New Year's Eve because what do you do during the pandemic? But yeah, so I'll let you guys know if we're going to try and do Monday or how the schedule is going to work out or push it to Thursday. We'll see. So anyways, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, was going to make a video today. It rained. Got a couple additions to the Gunner to chat about. Some from Pudgy, some from Otis at Dirty River, but something like that next. Anyways, thanks everyone. We will see you next week on Tuesday.
Okay, bye.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah.
this time.
Fitzwater photo.